On December 1st, 2015, 4 members of the Factory Church began a 10-day journey from Atlanta, Georgia to Tanzania, South Africa to be present for the dedication ceremony of the second well that the Factory has sponsored in this region of South Africa. For the residents of this village, the excitement began several months ago. The well site had been identified and the digging begun. And finally, it was ready. So the team was prayed over, and their life-changing journey began. After 22 hours on the plane, they arrived in Dar es Salaam, where they stayed overnight. The next day, they drove 8 hours to a small village called Gairo. When they arrived, to the team's surprise, they were asked to speak. Tom Hill preached on the spot. There was dancing and awesome praise and worship. The next day, Tom preached again, and of course, there was more dancing. It quickly became obvious that the people of this village know how to get some praise on. The reason this journey was made was to attend the dedication of the well. For this village, it was a huge event. There were dignitaries under the tent, and even the Tanzania TV station recorded it to replay later. There were tons of people and, of course, dancing and praise. The ribbon was cut. And clean water began to flow, and you guessed it, more dancing. People lined up with containers to fill with fresh, clean water. Old and young all gathered to get as much water as they could. They didn't mind the wait. For them, clean water for their families was priceless. They came from near and far, taking as much water as they could transport back to their home. After the well dedication, the team went to the Bethel Orphanage, where the factory feeds 300 to 400 children every Saturday. They ate a meal that looked like oatmeal mixed with rice, but would fill their bellies. These children were so precious. We gave each one a gift bag of small toys, and very soon little bouncy balls were flying everywhere. On Sunday, Pastor Keith preached an amazing message. Six people came forward to accept the Lord that day. The team took lots of pictures and made lots of friends.
kwako nakimbilia, iwewe utoshaye mwovu akinijia. Yafiche ubavuni mwako maisha yangu, nifikishe mbinguni wokowe moyo wangu. Ngome nyingine sina, nategemea kwako, usinitupe Bwana, nipe neema yako, ninakuamania mwenye kuniweza.
They packed up and began what was to be a 6-hour car ride to Arusha for some sightseeing and relaxation. Unfortunately, the car broke down en route, and after several hours, a good Samaritan, who happened to be a Muslim gentleman, came by and transported them to their destination. The whole trip took almost 12 hours. They were exhausted but safe. You would think the story ends here, right? The team had time to relax for a bit while waiting for their return trip back to America. But something happened along the way from Cairo to Arusha before the car broke down. While the streets and views from the car were interesting, they came upon a particular sight that touched them greatly. On the side of the road was a mostly dried-up creek. There were cows lapping up the little water in a particular bend of the creek. At the same time the cows were drinking, there were also ladies and children scooping up that same water the cows were drinking from. This water would be used for cooking, bathing, and drinking. This is a very hard concept for Americans. We have clean water anytime we want it. Think about the last water bottle that you opened but did not finish. Did you throw it out because it had been sitting for a few hours? Do you think tap water tastes funny? We Americans can't truly appreciate the importance of clean water because of its abundance in our region. Does this look like water you would cook with? Would you give this water to your children to quench their thirst? We tried to tell them that there was a clean water well just a short distance away, but they said it was just too far. So, well site number 3 has been identified. And then, there's the story of the gift of the chicken.